Best of R / Entitled Parents episode 183. Subscribe for edit videos daily. EntitledParents puts everyone in danger for a video. Hiya, so this happened exactly 5 hours ago from the time of this post. This was while we were on a hiking trip in my country. Usually moral of the story comes at the end, but this is genuinely important, so I will say it in the beginning. Always follow instructions on a hike, especially when crossing difficult terrain. Background: hikes are usually divided into tiers based on a person's endurance, speed and capabilities. However, this hike had one level due to a shortage in people and guides. So, my best friend and I were asked to assist given we are regulars and advanced hikers. Now we were walking quite a distance on a narrow path that forced everyone into a single line. The path is dirt and leaves with rocks scattered, and it was generally downwards, with scattered streams of water making certain sections of the trail muddy and slippery. Not a big issue for most of us, but we had two unruly new people with us, EM and EK. They complained about the mud, plants, insects and just about everything. We were tolerant, but that changed pretty quick. We reached a rather flimsy spot where the dirt is very slippery. Slipping and going off would not kill you, but it'll be a painful trip to the OR. For sure. So me, my best friend and the guide situated ourselves at the beginning, middle and end of the drop, respectively, to help people step across, mostly allowing them to stand on our feet or footholds we made with our feet. Equals 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 story equals 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 equals. Cast: entitled mom, entitled kid, guide, best friend, girl hiker 1, girl hiker 2, and me. Okay, girl hiker 1. Stand on my right foot and then grab best friend's hand. Best friend and guide give similar instructions and we were in a position where entitled kid is next. I am supporting girl hiker 2. Girl hiker 1 is with a guide while guy hiker was helping them. Entitled kid: mom, take a video of me doing this. I will sprint across. Me: no, you won't. You'll stand on my right foot and reach to best friend and take his hand. Entitled mom: you cannot tell my kid what to do. Go on chief. Translated from my native language, it's a term that is similar to man of men, or that he is the strong man. Me: no man, if you do this and he slips we will all be in danger and I might not even be able to catch him. Get the hell back. Entitled kid runs a bit upwards and away from my reach, and within his third step he loses his footing and slips. He's now between me and my best friend. While slipping he grabs girl hiker 2's leg, pulling her down. My best friend grabs her arm and I grab her second one. Me: UFCK. Entitled mom: my baby, you bastards better not let my baby get hurt. Pull him up. Best friend: BTCH. He caused this. Entitled mom: you swine, my baby is more important than all of you. Get him back to me. My friend is a devout Muslim and the swine insults seem targeted at that, as it's a completely uncommon insult. Me: shut the hell up, you entitled donkey shit. Girl hiker 2, you okay? Sounds more insulting in my language. Girl hiker 2, I am okay, but he's holding onto my leg and kicking and I cannot get a foothold. By now the entire group is looking in horror and the mother is screaming like a banshee, while the guide grabbed a rope and tossed it to the kid. Kid would not let go of the girl's leg, forcing me and best friend to start losing our footholds. Best friend: you idiot. Grab the rope or we will all go down. Entitled mom: don't you dare scream at him, this is all your fault. You and this trail. Only a swine like you is an idiot. Me: will you shut the hell up already? Girl hiker 2, I need to grab you by the shirt. Is that okay? Girl hiker 2, yes, just get me out of here. I reached down, grabbed her by the shirt and undershirt and pulled her up enough for my best friend to grab her bag and pull up with me. We felt the dirt beneath us giving way. The dirt was slipping into the kid's eyes as it was tumbling down onto him. He began to flail and scream, causing the mother to start screaming as well. Entitled mom: do not worry baby, hold on. You idiots are hurting him. Me: can you put a lid in it, goddammit. Entitled mom: how dare a piece of shit like you and the swine next to you. Best friend: Talk to Miri and my baby like that. The guide had moved himself a bit below my friend and I and had a strong foothold. The moment we pulled back up enough he grabbed the entitled kid and pulled him off, allowing us to pull the girl hiker 2 out and back onto my best friend. I lost a lot of my footing and had to dig my hands into the dirt and spider move myself onto a different position. Equals 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 outcome equals 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 equals. The entitled mom ran to the kid to check on him while cursing at all of us, calling us idiots and irresponsible. She kept threatening to sue, calling my friend swine and other explicit words. Now what she forgot and did not account for is that both my and my best friend's mom are with us and they saw all this go down. Best friend's sister even recorded everything. Surprise cast. Mom and best friend's mom. Mom, our kid saved your spoiled brat's ass. So one more word out of you and it wow. Best friend's mom shoves entitled mom into a tree trunk. Best friend's mom, how dare you call my kid swine after he saved your kid's life. You racist entitled BTCH. I have half a mind to throw you off of this ledge. Pieces of shit like you are what the problem in this country. Say one more word about my kid, I dare you. Entitled mom and entitled kid visibly shrank as the entire group gathered around them yelling and blaming her and her kid for what they did. I and my best friend got to cleaning our boots and clothing from the dirt that slipped in. We brushed it off and continued the trail. Hiker girl 2 stuck around my best friend. They joked and he got her number as well. EM and EK were noticeably silent and the guide issued them a ban from our group and other groups we usually collaborate with. There you have it, Reddit. My brush with a possible or admission due to an EK. Also, did I mention EK was 29? My best friend and I are 22 and 23, respectively. Thought this would be a juicy last piece of info for y'all. Edit. Morning everyone. I literally fell asleep while responding to comments. I guess I was more exhausted than I thought I was previously. Thank you everyone for your kind comments, upvotes and awards. I will respond to a few questions and comments as they have been expressed by a majority of people. Where are you from and what language was the conversation in? Lebanon and Lebanese Arabic dialect. That is why you can see a group of comments about guessing my location and dialect correctly, as those insults are pretty unique to Lebanon and Palestine. How can he be 29 and still be with his mom? This is not uncommon in Lebanon due to the financial situation and the role mothers play in the Lebanese society. A lot of people have never grown out of their mother's circle. Yet, I have to admit he was one of the worst cases I have encountered. You write really well. Thank you. I have been a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons for the past 5 years and I am a published academic author with multidisciplinary papers trying to bridge the technical gap between electrical engineering and public policy design and formation. This is fake and karma farming. Fair point. I posted about a dangerous situation and naturally people would not think someone is dumb enough to put other people in such a situation. You can go through my profile and investigate all stories and post. You will find my outlook and description of myself to be consistent. A 23-year-old master's student at one of the prestigious universities in Lebanon, who just a few months ago was searching for hiking cameras to buy and several hiking photos across my country. While this is not fake, I understand why you might think it is. Thank you. Next. EM and EK try to take a chocolate shake for which I paid. So, this happened earlier today. My apologies for any formatting errors. I am typing this up on my phone. Cast, neighbor, me, entitled mom, EM entitled kid, EK convenience store clerk, C cashier, C2, my neighbor, and his wife had a big birthday party today for their 5-year-old daughter. He even went and got a huge blow-up water slide for the kids. When he went with his wife and daughters to return the slide to the person they rented it from, their car broke down. I got a message from them asking if I could pick them up, since I drive an SUV and could accommodate all of them, including 2 car seats. I said sure, no prob, and headed out. On the way home, I asked them if they needed to stop anywhere to pick up anything. I needed cigs, so I told them it wouldn't be an issue if they needed me to stop off somewhere. R said he needed cigs too. I stopped at the local convenience store. When we were getting out, the oldest daughter asked if she could get a milkshake. Her mom told her no, they didn't have the extra money for that right now, what with having to pay to have their car towed home. When we got inside, I asked her what kind of milkshakes his girls liked, that I was going to get them as a treat for being good after having to deal with the car breaking down and all. He said I didn't have to do that. I told him it wasn't a big deal, it was just a milkshake, and I wanted to do it. We walked over to the order screen and we ordered 2 chocolate shakes, one with whipped cream, one without. I got my order slips and headed to the cashier. Now, at this store, you place the order, pay for the order, then pick up your food/beverage. I had already bought his cigs, so he waited there for the shakes while I went to pay. I chatted with the clerk, paid for my stuff, and turned back to the counter to get the shakes. And then shit got weird. Hey, what were those order numbers again? Me, 106 and 108. I thought so. Hey, that is my shake. This was directed to a kid who had grabbed a chocolate shake off of the counter. My mom said I could have a chocolate shake, and this one is just sitting here. It's mine now. Me, that's not how it works, kid. Give me the shake. You didn't pay for it. Louder, my mom said. What are you doing? Why are you yelling at my son? Me, I paid for that shake. You didn't. I have the order slip. He can't just walk up and grab something off of the counter like it's his. Well, I haven't ordered his yet, so just let him have that one. You can order another one for yourself. Muttering, like you really need it. Now, peeps, I am a bit curvy, but I am in no way, shape, or form obese, and even if I was, you don't take someone's shake. Oh shit. Me, excuse me? What the hell did you say? See, here is your second shake. Wait, where is the first one? Is something wrong? This was said as she saw me staring down Me, lady, I have already paid for both of those shakes, and not that it is your business, but neither are for me, they are for his, pointing at our daughters. So, your son can put the damn shake down and you can both walk the hell away from me, or you are going to see what a chocolate shake enema feels like. Looking at Clark, she just threatened me. You need to call the cops. I can't believe she is trying to take away my son's shake. See, lady, she ordered and paid for them, not you. And I didn't hear a threat. Did you? Looks at cashier. C2. Nope. I want my shake. I am going to call the cops on you for threatening me. Me, go ahead. And I am sure these awesome workers will also call them on you for theft of a milkshake. Last chance, lady. Either your kid puts the shake back on the counter or you will be leaking chocolate syrup out of your ass for days. Grabs the shake from her son, slams it on the counter so hard it exploded all over the clerk and the counter. When she realized what she had done, she grabbed her son's arm and yanked him out the door, running for her car. The poor clerk was covered in chocolate shake. The cashier went behind the counter to make a new shake, and the clerk left for the back to try and clean herself up. I felt so bad for the clerk, but the cashier said her shift was ending in less than 30 minutes, so she was going home shortly and could get a shower. I thanked them both for the shakes, and for sticking up for me, and I went out to the car. He told his wife the story, and she laughed so hard I thought she would fall out of the car. She had seen and EK running out of the store. TL. Dr. EK tries to take a shake made for a 5-year-old. Mother tells him he can. I threaten her with a shake enema if they don't put the shake down. Edit. Thank you, most awesome person, for gold. My first ever. Thank you. Next. Entitled parent gets her kid hurt. Peas, I'm on mobile. Don't hate. Background. I work at this ropes course, basically just an elevated obstacle course. Cast. Me. We had just reopened and people were desperate to get out of the house, so we had a lot of people show up today. Because of this we were trying to keep each course moving as smoothly as possible. I had been hearing some complaints from one of our harder courses, and went to go check it out. On it, I found and EK. Me, Mom, are you having some difficulty with the course? Service with a smile. No issues at all. This is complete and total bullshit. I, 16, have trouble in that course, and EK was 7-9ish, so I knew they were holding up the line. Also, the people backed up for 5 platforms was a dead giveaway. EK, actually I am getting really tired and I want to come down. No you don't sweetie, we've just started this course. Me, to Ek, if you want to come down, it's your decision, and I can warn you it only gets tougher from here. She doesn't want to come down, she's doing fine. Ek, I want to come down. Glares at her. So how we get people down is typically a ladder, but this course is to high off the ground for a ladder, so we have this big winch that we can attach to the line near the platform, allowing someone to just step off and come down slow. So I attach it and get Ek hooked in. All of a sudden, as Ek was preparing to step off, screeches my baby doesn't want to go down, and grabs the back of Ek's harness and tries to pull her back. I do think I have to explain how a swing works. When Ek was released after being pulled back, she swung forward, and then back into the platform. This gave something to scream about. Something along the lines of how could you do this? This is all your f***ing fault. I wasn't paying attention to her, only to Ek. Aftermath. Ek had a bump of the back of her head and had a small concussion, but was fine, considering what could have happened. Thank you. Next. Thinks we're going to make a special accommodation for her and her kids, in a neurotrauma/burn ICU. During COVID, ends up with CPS called on her. I am an ICU RN. A few nights ago I was working our burn ward, where this happened. Typically, pre-COVID, we allowed 3 visitors per patient between the hours of 8 AM to 8 PM. During the worst of COVID, all visitors were restricted, all units, no exceptions. Now that things are lightening up, we're starting to allow visitors again, under certain conditions. 1 visitor per patient at a time, 18 plus only, all will be screened and made to wear N95 masks, and 2-hour visiting maximum. Pretty reasonable. Enter I'm taking care of her husband who was grilling when the propane tank exploded. He's pretty burned up, but nowhere near life-threatening. He's awake, alert, talking, eating, etc. Not on death's door by any means. I get a call from this lady positively screeching that she is downstairs and some bitch, the guest secretary, won't let her come visit her dying husband and I had better tell her it's okay. After getting a few words in, I come to find out it's because she has children with her. I explain our policy and she loses it. Incoherent words are screamed at me. I hung up. Giggle to myself that I'm so glad she's downstairs and this is a locked unit and it sucks to be that secretary right now. Well, in walks a super pissed off woman escorted by security, alone, raging about how we need to let her kids up to see their dad because they haven't seen him in 3 days. She asks for the charge nurse after I tell her policy is policy. So she's yelling at my charge for a solid 10 minutes when I go into this guy's room. He's embarrassed. He can hear her yelling from his room. He apologizes for her. We chat for a bit and I ask about his kids and how old they are, etc. He tells me they're boys, 3 and 6 years old. Lady is still with my charge nurse. It's been about 15-20 minutes she's been on the unit now, hasn't come to see her dying husband yet. My patient then said wait, the kids aren't alone in the waiting room are they? Oh I hope they haven't wrecked it. So I run and check. Nope, no kids to be found. Because of missing children, I consulted the house supervisor and we call a code pink, possible abducted or lost child. In the event of a code pink, no one goes in or out of the hospital and all entrances and exits are monitored. I go and tell my charge what's going on, right in front of me. The children she brought can't be located in the waiting room so we called a code pink. Me to we'll need a description of the kids and what they are wearing. Well of course they're not in the waiting room, the stupid secretary wouldn't let them up. They're out in the car. There's a pause. Charge nurse. Oh, are they with more family out there? Charge. Mom, is there someone in the car with your children? I need to go. Move. Let me out. She's trying to push around me to get to a staircase. Me. No one can leave during a code pink. You can't go anywhere. To make a long story short, the police were called, a report was filed. She wasn't arrested since the only other person to take the kids is in the hospital. We are mandated reporters and had to report to CPS. I feel so bad for the husband and those kids. Thank you. Next. Entitled Aunt gets pissed because her son has to follow rules. Cast, CA. Crazy aunt, AC. Annoying cousin, me. Nice cousin and his brother, NC. NB. Sensible uncle, SU. Sorry for grammar, I failed most language classes. During most family gatherings, something the older cousins do is go in the woods near my grandparents' house and have an airsoft battle. Older cousins as in 13-16 yo, usually it's just 3 of us, me, NC, and NB, but our other cousin, AC, just turned 13 and wanted to join. AC wasn't the best at etiquette. He was the kid who said time out just before he was tagged. We agreed and I gave him a basic M4. Looking back, it was dumb of me not to explain the rules before I gave him the gun. I showed AC how to use it and before I could get the rules out to him, he shot me in the thigh from point blank range for fun. I played airsoft frequently so I was used to being hit, but it still hurt. Unfortunately for him, one of the rules we agreed on was, if you want to shoot someone you must have the same experience, if that makes sense. Right after I told that to him, he realized he messed up and ran crying. Remember, he's 13, to his mom. We decided to have mercy on him and teach him later as we prepared to start the game. As I was doing the normal explanation of the rules, CA came out and decided to teach us a lesson for making AC cry. She screamed at us with typical Karen style. How could you make AC cry? He was trying to fit in with you and you turned your back on him and made him cry. NC, is that what he told you? CA, yes, and if you tell me otherwise you're wrong. NB chimed in and told CA what happened and explained that AC had to be shot with his own gun. This pissed off CA even more. You would shoot an innocent 13-year boy just to get petty revenge. You are all little pieces of shit. After another minute of ranting from CA, SU realized his wife was being a Karen to 14-16-year-olds and asked what was wrong. He is a pretty cool guy. I talk to him about video games and phones and stuff, and we get along well. He's even played airsoft with us once. CA explains that we are bullying their son. NC explains what he did. SU was kind of pissed at his son because he didn't like when people broke rules that could lead to bad injuries. SU, did AC get shot back? Me, no, not yet. After hearing that, SU took the M4 out of AC's hand and shot him in the leg. CA looked at SU in shock and started screaming at him. He had no reaction from the screaming and walked back to the house. He must be used to his wife yelling at him for dumb stuff. As for AC, he realized airsoft didn't hurt as bad as he expected, but he still said ouch. CA had enough quote bullshit teen attitude and stormed off to the house while AC was trying to reason with CA that it didn't hurt bad and he wanted to play. After she stormed off, we just played the game and missed them leaving. CA and SU ended up getting a divorce about 2 months later and I never saw CA again. SU still comes to family gatherings but AC isn't always with him. Thank you. Next. EM tries to get me fired from a place I don't work. This is a kind of old story but I still think about it from time to time. I was about 17 at the time and a friend of mine, Mark, was helping to cater some renewal of vows thing. For whatever reason, the catering service just could not find people to work this. Mark was worried that he was going to have to do it on his own. He was only 16 at the time and had just started working this really stressful job. Well, Mark and my sister, Janice, were best friends, so Mark hit her up and asked if we would be willing to help him out. Neither of us had any idea what we were doing, but he seemed stressed, so we agreed. We showed up wearing nice enough clothing and got a fast rundown of how it was going to work. It seemed simple enough, but we realized pretty quickly that there was tension in the air. The little hour-long gig that they had been hired for was not little at all. There were way more people than the caterers had been notified of and there was not enough food. Not only that, but the caterers had only been hired to prepare the food and switch it out whenever the buffet dishes were getting empty. The caterers were not aware that they would be responsible for collecting and cleaning all of the dishes when they were done. Part of the reason Mark asked my sister and I to help was because he wanted to make the night easy. Now we were barely able to keep up. Janice was giving out wine, Mark was switching out food trays, and I got the unfortunate job of collecting all of the dishes. Because Mark and Janice were pretty busy with guests, I wound up dealing with the angry guests. One of these was an entitled mom that made it her mission to ruin my night. My memory is pretty fuzzy here, but it went a little something like this. Excuse me, there's no mac and cheese left for my boys. Me, they might have run out. What? How can that be? Who the heck takes all the mac and cheese before kids can get any? Don't you have more? Me, no, afraid not. Then make more. Now, I didn't technically work for this catering company, but I did know that they made most everything from scratch. The mac and cheese wasn't just a few boxes of Kraft tossed in a pot. I didn't want to make the bride and groom look bad by saying that they didn't order enough food, so I kind of just shrugged and said, me, it's not that simple. Sorry. I started walking away with my big cart of dirty dishes. I was trying to clear off all of the dinner plates before dessert was served, but the EM grabbed the front of my cart to stop me. Where's your boss? I've had it with your unprofessional behavior. Most people who know me know I have a very short fuse. I normally try to stay out of conflict because of it. Me, Mom, I'm volunteering my time to help the catering company with this gig. You can try to get me in trouble or whatever, but it doesn't really matter to me. She did one of those pearl-clutching offended style gasps and I, again, tried to move my cart past her. Well, since she couldn't stop me, she decided to try and push my cart over. You know, the one filled with several porcelain and glass dishes. I don't know how, but by the grace of God I was able to jump around the cart and grab the falling side. Few dishes slipped past me and broke on the ground, but ultimately I had saved the majority. My heart was pounding in my ears, but this entitled mom just kept yelling about how her sweet son was going to starve because we didn't have any fucking mac and cheese. I was mortified when I looked around and saw how much attention we had drawn. Eventually, the bride made her way over and instead of listening to what I had to say, berated me further. Apparently, entitled mom was her sister. Mark and Janice weren't having much luck keeping the peace either, and after the bride was finished yelling, Mark pulled me aside and informed me that we had been catering this event for 3 hours, which was way longer than we had been hired for. He decided to call his boss, who was pissed and told us to get the heck out of there. We dropped everything and decided to leave at that point. The bride chased us down and threatened to withhold payment, but Mark pretty much told her to pound sand. In the end, the catering company got their money from a mortified groom, and my sister and I were both given $20 for our patience. Last I heard, the bride and the groom had gotten a divorce. Good for him. Edit, a word. Thank you. Next. Parents AI, F17, have no privacy as long as I live under their roof. This happened a few weeks ago, but things like this happen every time my boyfriend is invited over. So I invited my boyfriend over to have our outdoor movie night. I asked my parents the weekend before and they were okay with it. I was surprised they were letting me have any type of alone time with him. I told them I was sexually active, which is a completely different story that I really don't want to get into. Ever since that happened, he was no longer allowed to be in my room or alone with me without my little siblings in the room. I then spent the week buying decorations to make it a cute little picnic in front of the projector screen. I was excited and I was proud of it turned out, and I worked pretty freaking hard to make it look that cute. Anyway, the night before I made baked goods and foods for the date. This is important BC. The entire week my parents failed to tell me that my mom decided to invite her entire party of her friends come over that same night. She also told me this the day of. At first I didn't really care BC, we'd be outside away from everyone. I asked why they were coming over and she says to have a movie night with the projector outside. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little frustrated but tried to stay calm and asked why she invited them over. Because I have had plans since the weekend before and if I could maybe invite him over the next day. She then told me that it was her house and she could have whoever she wanted over and that it would be necessary because we don't deserve privacy. I dropped it BC, I know how she gets. Skipping to the actual day, my boyfriend came over along with my mom's friends who had brought their children. My plans were to start the movie around 8:30, or whenever it got dark. My mom had other plans and said we were not allowed until everyone went outside. My boyfriend normally leaves around 10:30 to 11. When they finally went outside it was 10:30 and my boyfriend, 4 children under 12, and I were all sitting outside without my mom or any of her friends. They stayed inside until my boyfriend left. I asked my mom why she didn't come out and she said that she didn't need to because there were kids out there, and she didn't need to watch us. Like what? I was extremely frustrated because once again my mom just wanted to take control over the situation for no reason other than just to prove a point that I have no privacy. The fact that they didn't even come out to watch the movie and send their children to watch us made it to where my boyfriend and I only got to watch like 30 minutes of a movie when we'd been planning it for a week already just makes me so upset. I feel like I have no privacy and I can't just move out. This is only one story out of so many others. I'm over it and don't know how to make it clear to them that I deserve privacy, to whether that be having my boyfriend over to watch a movie or being able to wash my own clothing without my mother freaking out that I'm wearing a thong on have a pretty bra. I'm just so over it.